Well, it's a very repetitive weather pattern that we've got here in Western Europe at the moment. High pressure gives way to Atlantic low pressure, and then we see the high pressure returning once again. But thanks for clicking on to the Thursday edition of Vogan's European Outlook. We've got a blocking area of high pressure at the moment, shielding us from any real active weather at the moment, but that will change as we go through the weekend and in the next week as the next frontal system comes in off the Atlantic. What it'll do is it's going to essentially turn our cool northwesterly airflow, which is bringing shower activity across northern areas of the UK, that will turn to a more southerly direction as we see the front approaching from the west, and therefore we're going to see another surge of heat getting lifted up from Spain and France. Temperatures are likely to reach the highest levels of the year so far. So far, we've seen 22.1 at Gravesend in Kent. We're likely to see potentially 23, maybe even 24 locally in the southeast of England. But unfortunately, like we've seen with the previous spells of warm weather, it's generally the southern half of the UK that will benefit, or really certainly England and Wales. We may even see 21 up towards Manchester and Liverpool come Sunday afternoon. But certainly when you get further north, we've got the cloud, the breeze, and also the rainfall spreading southeastwards across Scotland here, because it's essentially the southeastward progress of that frontal system. To the south of that, we've got the southerly air and also the sunshine, which is allowing the warm weather to build over the southern half of the UK. But certainly, that warmth will get deflected away from Scotland, albeit we may see 20, maybe 21 in the southeastern half of Scotland here, down around the Borders region. But high pressure will give way to low pressure once again, and next week it looks as if we are going to see a kind of north-south split between the weather. Certainly, low pressure dominating much of Scotland. I think next week we are going to see frontal systems pushing through, but it's generally going to, like I say, it's a north-south split, so it's going to be drier and therefore milder and should be brighter across the southern half of the UK. But get up into Scotland, you're going to have more westerly wind, more in the way of cloud cover, and we may see a significant amount of rain piling into the western highlands of Scotland, I think. So you can see here, this is the surface chart of the GFS. As we skip through the weekend, that area of high pressure becomes like kind of repositioned over the near continent. Notice the dip in both jet and trough. So that is what's allowing the air from the southern and southwestern part of Europe to get lifted northwards up into the UK here. And then eventually that frontal system will push through during Sunday and into Monday. Much clearer, fresher air will follow. We are likely to see a frost potentially quite widely, I think, from the central portion of the UK northwards into Tuesday morning. But then once that pushes through, we're going to be back into the kind of westerly air mass here. You can see here, come Tuesday afternoon, high pressure to the south, low pressure to the north, squeezing the isobars mean we're going to have a pretty strong westerly airflow, but with a lot of moisture embedded within that westerly flow, you could see rain totals mount up across the western highlands of Scotland, I think, overall. So a north-south split next week. High pressure remains dominant through at least the first half of this weekend. Then we start to see the change Saturday and the Sunday. Weather comes back into Scotland. We'll see a brief surge of warmth back into England and Wales once again before we see everywhere turn cooler and fresher next week. That's it for tonight. Now, I'll be back again in the next couple of days. Bye for now.